What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Global Championship qualifiers for NBA 2K20. And as far as I know, they did run fairly smoothly for the Canadians and the Australians, so this is just my experience and the experience of anyone who tried to play in the UK qualifiers. First of all, yes, I am not from the UK, and yes, if I'd qualified, I would have 100% pulled out and given my spot to somebody else. I just wanted to do it for the video. And I pretty much knew that the only person that in the UK that I knew had a good, well, I knew was going to beat me, was Hazza. But I was fairly confident that I was going to win at least 6 of the 8 games, be fairly close to qualifying. And even if Hazza was there, that if I did come up against him, that's only 1 loss. And if I did manage to dodge him, that it would have been plain sailing all the way to the 8 wins. So I registered as someone from the UK. My PSN account's from the UK, so that shouldn't have been any sort of a problem. And there's also no location on my laptop or MacBook, so I don't think they'll be able to track that. So I was like, there's no way of getting caught, but I was going to pull out at the very end if I did qualify. If I didn't qualify, no one would have cared. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the games that I played and also the many problems with this tournament. But anyway, yeah. As you guys probably guessed, knowing my luck, the very first game, I came up against Hazza. So I picked Milwaukee, he picked the Lakers. This is a play now tournament, so it is literally going to be Milwaukee versus the Lakers in pretty much every single matchup. So yeah, anyone who's not picking one of these teams is at a major disadvantage. Unless, of course, you're playing someone that doesn't know how to play the game, and then you're going to beat them by more using the Warriors. But if you're playing anyone who's competent, it's going to be one of the Milwaukee Bucks or the Lakers. Maybe the Philadelphia 76ers because they have Ben Simmons. And early on in this game, it was pretty neck and neck. And until the 4th quarter, it was pretty much the case of Hazza would pull a little bit ahead because, well, he is that little bit better than me at 2K. He is a pro. He was one of the best defensive players in the 2K League this year. Was class for the New York Knicks. He'd pull that little bit ahead. I'd pull it back. He'd pull ahead. I'd pull it back. It was the case throughout the whole game. I was missing a couple of shots. I was selling a little bit with Giannis. But again, like, this is my first time using these players. I hadn't been used to them. And I was mainly going to use this game as like a tester to see what worked, what didn't work. Because even at my best, he was probably going to beat me. But you never know. On pro difficulty, anything can happen. But again, I was running through Giannis. I made the mistake of running with Brook Lopez on the floor. I really didn't realize till the end of the game that that was not a great idea. But I actually gave Giannis a bit of a break. And I felt that worked well. Running with Middleton and some snipers on the bench, that actually worked alright because towards the end of the game, it paid dividends anyway. Bledsoe right here with the layup. And then to end of quarter, Kyle Korver Green's a very contested 3 that said it was wide open. 2K logic. And then to start the second half, we were on fire. A 3-point shot from Giannis made it a 2-point game. And then Giannis drives to the basket here. And he draws the foul. But I think I'd stuck with Brook Lopez at this stage, had I? No, I hadn't. I actually started running Chris Middleton as center. That was like my test at the start of the 3rd quarter. And it actually worked quite well. Chris Middleton, whatever way they had their matchups, Middleton was open very often. Greening that 3 there to tie the game up. But to be fair, that was the last time I saw the game be tied. Let's just say that much. They go and hit a long 2 here. I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. Like, I can give up 2s, especially long 2s, because of how easy it is to shoot 3s in pro difficulty and how hard it is to stop Giannis. But I was just making bad plays. I was making bad play after bad play. I was taking rush shots, wasn't taking my time. Like, look, 9 seconds to go on a shot clock. That's the last second of a shot clock type shot. There's no need to take that early. And we missed a shot we probably could have hit there with Chris Middleton to make it a 1-point game. And this was kind of the start of a really bad run for me. We were struggling to score, and we were also struggling to get stops. Well, everyone struggles to get stops. This is on pro difficulty. We have to take that into account. There is very little defense played in this difficulty. And as you guys can see here, we're down 17. But this is when I'm saying the stamina paid dividends. He really struggled late on in this game with both his LeBron and his Anthony Davis. And the rest of his players couldn't really do much. Because of the way stamina is this year, players lose the ball an awful lot when they have low stamina. Players really struggle to hit shots unless they're wide open. So we had a massive advantage. And had I not let him go on as big a run, had I kept it, instead of letting him go up 17, had I kept it to maybe 9, 11 points, I was right in that game. Like, I was getting steal after steal. But look, Hazza's a pro. He was able to hold he was able to hold it out, basically. Good clock management, didn't make mistakes towards the end of the game, didn't let me come back into it, and I did end up getting a couple of stops in a row. I ended up getting it back to 9 points, but sure, look, 9 points, 30 points, it doesn't matter, a loss is a loss, and Hazza's a pro. The better player won that game, but at least I felt after that game, especially because I didn't go in great tactically, that I wasn't far off at all. And then game 2 is the same matchup again. I had my team kind of sorted a little bit better, and look, I could tell from this guy, he invited me to a party before the game, invited me to the game. You could kind of tell he was asking me, do we use current teams or all-time teams? So you can see that he didn't even read the rules of the tournament, and he was asking what minute quarters we play on, what difficulty we play on, so he obviously hadn't read the rules. And you could see by the way he started off, actually no, he started off the normal Lakers team, and then as soon as the timeout was called, he put DeMarcus Cousins on the floor. And if you're going to do that on pro difficulty, you're going to struggle a bit. I actually went out with what I think is the most effective lineup to run with on pro difficulty out of all of the current NBA players. So if you guys are looking to do this tournament, you guys should at least look to use this lineup. So I definitely wouldn't use George Hill. I would put Pat Connaughton at the 2. I would put Wesley Matthews at the 1. I used George Hill in this game, I don't know why, but Matthews is a better shooter, so I'd run him there. I'd run Kyle Korver at the 4, and then I'd run Giannis at the 5. But this game here was horrendous. Like, you could tell from about 3 possessions into this game, he had DeMarcus Cousins matched up onto Giannis. And then he was throwing from the get-go, he was throwing scaries, which are just terrible, like low percentage risky passes. Like, you could tell straight away that this guy, I'm not saying like he's that bad a 2K player. You could just tell that he had no idea what he was doing when it comes to competitive 2K. And while obviously you guys are going to joke in the comments saying that I'm not the best 2K, yeah, like I'm not one of the best 10 players in the world, but there's about 15 people in the world that can blow me out, and there is nobody in Britain or Ireland that will blow me out in a game of 2K. But this guy here, look, he just wasn't at the standard. That's going to happen, especially in these type of tournaments. It'll happen in 250k as well. The people that will be able to qualify for 250k, well, not to qualify for the tournament, but will be able to get enough tickets to enter the tournament, that literally have played 2k a couple of weeks. And this guy is one of those players, not that bad a 2k player, just didn't know how to deal with what I was throwing at him, and like it was over basically before it started. The second quarter had just started and we built up a 19-point lead. And then I get a notification. To say that the result is now final. And you know what happened? I went and checked. I got the loss. I got the loss by default with no option to dispute. I don't know how. I genuinely do not know how I got the loss. Am I going to complain about it? No. Well, kind of, but am I going to actually put in a dispute? No, because I'm not from the UK. But there was no way of them telling that. So that's not the reason I got the loss. I have no idea why I did. It doesn't say why I got the loss. But it's just, the tournament has been an absolute joke. From the fact that Ireland is in EU wildcard, where we're playing our qualifiers on Tuesdays. Tuesdays. It's Tuesdays during work hours. I have stuff to do. Loads of people have stuff to do. Why are our qualifiers on Tuesdays when all the other ones are on Sundays? And why are our qualifiers in the middle of November? Why? That's the only reason. If there was Ireland qualifiers or the EU wildcard ones that I'm allowed to enter were today, I would have obviously gone to that. But I can't play on Tuesdays. Most people can't. Why the hell is that? And also, there were 31 people in the UK tournament. 31. For the tournament in a month's time for EU wildcard, there are already 300 registrations. Have 2K not thought, maybe we should split up country by country and then put them together? Not put a couple of individual countries, some like the UK, where there's literally one elite 2K player in the entire country, and it's, well, Hazza, JD's decent, put them as their own separate tournament when 31 of them try out. And in the rest of the countries in Europe, after Spain, Spain, France, Germany, Italy, and UK. But like Lithuania have a better 2K player base than England. Serbia have a better 2K player base than England. Ireland probably have a better 2K player base than England. Niza is a really good player. I'm fairly decent. There are probably better players in Ireland than in the UK. But we don't get our own tournaments. We're bunched in with the Lithuanians, with the Serbians, with arguably the best group of players in Europe. If you take out Slimane, if you take out Lackey from Italy, the best, and then also, if you don't qualify through one of your own countries, you can still enter the EU wildcard. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And that's just the way the countries are. And like, obviously, in America there's 10 times more. That makes sense. But like, I just don't get it. And why is it on Pro? Twitch Rivals worked because it was Twitch Rivals. Because they had a whole, like, streaming thing. It was really official. The fact it worked despite it was on Pro. It didn't work because the game's on Pro. This is not 2K. Pro difficulty is not 2K. You should not be pulling up for snatchback threes with Giannis. This is not 2K18. This is not Pink Diamond Giannis. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And it's just annoying. Like, even for the actual, like, tournament, there are people, like, we were all delayed for a second game 20 minutes. The website crashed after round 2 of the British or the UK tournament. And also, there are people that are literally getting losses because the website have forgot to give them their games. This, like, why do 2K not run this themselves? And why are they running it through websites that, it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. The 250k tournament worked because 2K ran it. Well, the qualifiers somewhat worked because 2K ran it in game. This is being run completely separately to 2K. Why are 2K endorsing this? Why? This is a tournament ran by a website that 2K are calling the Global Championships. This is not the Global Championships. This is an absolute farce. This is a joke. Like, fully, like, I'm not complaining about being kicked out. I would have pulled out if I wasn't kicked out. I'm not complaining about that. I would have liked to have gotten a few more games in, but sure, look, it is what it is. I have more time to make videos. But the fact is that the people that are still in the tournament are being screwed because every game's taking nearly 2 hours every round. And also, like, I wasn't given a reason for being kicked out. I just lost by default. And I can guarantee you the geographic location wasn't the reason I lost by default. I lost for some unknown reason by default. But, look, there's no point. There's no point complaining. And this isn't even 2K. And it kind of is. Because 2K outsourced their tournament to a company, to like an esports company. Like, why? Why? Like, I assume the company's putting most of the money on the line, but there's this much money on the line. 1, the game shouldn't be on pro difficulty. 2, there should be banned teams or allow mirror teams. Luckily enough, the Lakers counted the Bucks and the Bucks counted the Lakers. If they didn't, Milwaukee was going to win every single game. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, the tournament rules are ridiculous. You are not allowed pause without taking a timeout. Why? I have no idea. It's just bad. It's just really, really bad. And the fact is that I'm not the only one this has happened to. Again, there are people that have gotten losses because the website has forgot to give them a game. You are, a lot of the time, because people are being delayed in previous rounds, instead of kicking them out for being delayed, they just keep delaying more and more rounds. Like, literally, the UK qualifier is going to end at 4 a.m. It's going to end at 4 a.m. Do 2K, or does this company not see the problem with it? Or do 2K, like, 2K are in charge of this whole thing. It's their tournament. They're advertising it. So even though this isn't directly 2K making the mistakes, they're in charge. This is just incompetence. This is just incompetence for a tournament. And this is what happens when 31 people enter. I can just imagine how bad it's going to be for the American Championship. I can just imagine. But anyway, yeah. That's the video. Rant over. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.